Here's today's question, which is worth 25 marks. We're given a sequence which repeats every 3 terms, and in A part 1 we have to write down the 12th term of the sequence. There's 2 ways you can approach this question. The first approach is based on the fact that the sequence repeats every 3 terms, so therefore every term that is a multiple of 3 will be equal to 4. So in this case, since 12 is a multiple of 3, the 12th term will also be equal to 4. This can be written like so. Another way to do this is to simply write out the sequence until you reach the 12th term and then just take that as the answer. In this case you also get 4. Moving on to part 2, we have to work out the 100th term in the sequence. To use the second method in this case would be very tedious, so let us use the first method. In this case we have to divide 100 by 3. This gives us an answer of 33 remainder 1. This means that the sequence will repeat 33 times and then plus another term. And this term would be 3. So the 100th term in this sequence would be the number 3. In part B we have to describe how to find the nth term in this sequence. So we basically just have to write how we figured out the answer to A part 2, but for any number in general. So the first step is to divide the term number by 3. Then if the remainder is 0, the nth term is 4. In other words, if the term is a multiple of 3, then the nth term is 4. If the remainder is 1, then the nth term is 3, just like in A part 2. And finally, if the remainder is 2, the nth term is 6. And now we've covered all possible answers, so that's it for part B. In part C, we're given this rule to generate new terms, which says that if the term is odd, multiply it by 2 to get the next term, and if it's even, add 2 to it and then divide it by 2 to get the next term. So we have to find the next 4 terms in this sequence, starting with the number 8. So the second term is a half times 8 plus 2, which is equal to a half times 10, which is 5. Since 5 is odd, to get the third term, we have to multiply this by 2, which gives us 10. For the fourth term, since 10 is even, we add 2 to it and then divide it by 2, which gives us 6. Finally, for the fifth term, since 6 is even, we add 2 and multiply by a half, which gives us 4. And this sequence is going to repeat, since if we multiply 4 by 2, we get 8 again, which is the first term. So that's the answer for part C. Part D asks us what would be special about the sequence if we started with 2 as the first term. So to find the answer for this, we need to work out some of the terms. Since 2 is an even number, to find the next term we add 2 and then multiply by a half, which gives us 2 again. The third term is going to be the exact same since we use the same rule. So in this case the sequence is just 2's. So for our answer we can just say that his sequence is constant. In part E, we're told that the second term in a particular sequence is 86, using the same rule from part D and C. We have to work out the 2 different possible values that the first term could have been. If the first term was even, then we have this formula where x is the first term. So we need to solve this to find the first term. Multiplying both sides by 2 and then taking away 2 from each side, we get x is equal to 170. So this is one possible value for the first term. In the second case, where the first term is odd, we have this formula, 2x is equal to 86. So to find the first term, we just divide both sides by 2. In this case, we get x is equal to 43, which is the other possible first term. And that's it for part E. Part F is the trickiest part of this question, since we're given the first term of a sequence, which is k, and we're told that this number is odd. Using the same rules that we've been using for the rest of the question, we have to work out the next 3 terms of this sequence. To find the second term, we multiply k by 2, since k is an odd number, which gives us 2k, and this number is even, since it can be divided by 2. To find the third term, we have to add 2 to the second term and then multiply it by a half, since the second term is even. And as a result, we get k plus 1, which is even, since k is odd, so if we add 1 to it, we get an even number. And finally, for the fourth term, we add 2 to k plus 1 and then multiply it by a half. Our final answer is a half times k plus 3, since this cannot be simplified any further. And that's the end of this question. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again.